Yep. We have, so it's tarnished brass, it's going to be brush pewter and antique bronze. So they're silver, gold, copper-ish, but not. They're of course all dirtier colors. Yeah. Just the three. Yeah, so you can go in and make anything you want metallic if you want to. So here we can go in and just start adding some of that color. Gives it a great blend. Look at that. How that just marbles together because, of course, it's going to be water-based. So here we'll just start to dry it. Give it that great, great look. And just add that background. And I can layer this. So I can still go in and I can add other layers of this color. If I wanted to put more color down, but I didn't want metallic, get some of that out of the way, and you could still add another layer if you wanted to. So we could add another layer of stain and just pick up some of that color. It's going to re-wet and work its way right into that other background. Because again, it's water-based. That's the beauty of these stains. They're water-based just like the rest, so they're going to react just like the inks do. So if I spritz them with water like you see how they'll just re-wet and marbleize just like the colors do. So they're really, really fun to layer. So this one's going to have quite a bit more intensity in its color than the other one. And I'll show you how we can keep going back in and adding more. And I'm just drying this just to dry the paper. It doesn't do anything to the metallic, just because I'm impatient. And I want to. I had an iron, I was just iron. To iron it flat. Alright, so let's talk about this. So once we have a background, let me just get this and I have a tag. I've got some options. I can go and kind of keep that luminous luster on there, but let's say I wanted to add a color in there. You wanted to add darker blue or purple or anything like that. If you go to work with this, you got to keep in mind that this is always going to re-wet. So if I put ink on top of this, this is going to re-wet. So one of the tricks that I think is really nice to know is that, let's say I wanted to add some Dusty Concord in there. If I go in with my blending tool, mine are labeled at home. These are, so I'm picking like a new tool at a time. If I go in and I dab it and I go and blend like I normally would, it's going to re-wet that, and I could end up transferring some of that metallic back down. Now, if you do, it's okay. You might just get like a little twinkle on the pad, but that might absolutely put people over the edge. So one option you have is just to take your ink pad and use your craft sheet as a palette, because then you can just pick ink up from there, and you can blend right from your craft sheet without ever going in and touching your ink.
Even though it's water soluble? Yeah. So the ink, it doesn't re-wet it.
It does re-wet it, but now because I'm not actually touching my ink pad, I don't have to worry about transferring it on there. So I'm using that as my palette, and then I can just wipe this off, and the metallic comes off. So that's just if you don't want any, if you don't want any metallic on it.
That's emboss over that?
You could stamp over this, you could stamp first, but it really depends on how much metallic you add and the effect that you want. This one's really subtle because I just used a little bit. This one, far more intense because you use a lot. And you can always re-wet it, rework it. And it's just going to do all the drips and all the cool stuff that it does. Because it's always going to re-wet with water. Yeah, it's pretty neat. So you can stamp right over the top of it. Take our snowman guy.